Hi guys, we are continuing my collection in Declutter. We are doing my mini palettes today. These are the little palettes that I keep in these my little bins. If you've seen my Shop My Stash, you have seen them. They just fit really nicely in there, and then they fit on my shelf. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 to get through. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Andi. And I'm really happy that you're here. When I'm not looking at you, I forget to do that. I forget. Okay, we're going to start with these guys first. These are my e.l.f. bite-sized palettes. I'm going to move that out of the way. This is rose water. I'm keeping all of these. This is rose water. Put you down a little. There we go. Put you down a little bit for now, but the bigger palettes, maybe I'll bring you back up again. So rosewater is very pretty. It's a very cool pinky color story. This one is I Love You a Latte. Put my glasses back on. I had them above my head. Okay, this is I Love You a Latte. It is an all matte palette. I've never used it. Oh, you know what? It looks like I have. It looks like I have. Maybe I did. This is in the running to be my bite-sized Pan That palette. The Fantastic Ladies are doing a bite-sized Pan That palette, which means a small palette. And I don't want to do a big Pan That palette, so I might do this one. This one is in the running. So at the end of the video, let me know what you think, and I will tell you which ones are in the running. So this is the first one that's in the running. And then I also have, this is not in the running, but I also have this Very Bad bite size. This is pretty. I've only used it like once or twice, I think. But I need to because it's really pretty. You could definitely do a complete look with these bite size palettes. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one out because that's in the running. And now we have the Wet n Wild Color Icon. This is in the Color Story Camouflage. And I have a couple of videos. I've used this on my channel before in a Get Ready With Me. It is such a beautiful little palette. I love it. I love the color icon. We have the Natasha Denona Mini Biba. Yeah, Mini Biba palette. I'm going to try not to say palette because obviously it's a palette. I have the Natasha Denona Mini Starlet. I'm going to show you something here in a little bit when I get to it. I have the Natasha Denona Cupid, which is gorge. Love that. I have the Blushing Berries Dose of Colors. I do love this. It is an all matte palette. It gives me an opportunity to use some of my single shimmers or some of my Super Shocks. This is Space Case. I don't know why I have that on there. I don't usually keep the sleeve. This is Space Case, Cosmetic Quad. Just very cool, neutral shades. These are beautiful, beautiful toppers, and keeping that. This is the Silhouette Foiled Eyeshadow Palette from So Susan. I am decluttering this. It is beautiful, but I opened it up to use it a couple of months ago. And I was waiting for this video because it stinks. It is old. It is bad. It smells like crayons. Ugh. It smells like old, cheap crayons. So that is my first declutter. This is The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. I got this as an add-on when I did a Revolution order so that I could get free shipping. And I love it. It is a really nice little palette. I haven't used it a lot, but I have used it and I do like it. This is the Melt Cosmetics Bad Side Zodiac Air. Purpley, orangey. Honestly, I've only used this a couple of times and I'm really kind of confused by the color story, but I'm keeping it. And then this is the Bad Side Zodiac Fire. And this is definitely fire, and I have used this several times, and it is such a beautiful, warm, fiery fall palette. This is Laura Geller, the Casual Collection. This is such a beautiful, classic, cool color story. I love using this palette. This shade right here was on my pan those eyeshadows. I'm not trying to pan my eyeshadows. I'm just trying to use them. So, I got this from Ash from MakeupInChaos for either my birthday or Christmas one year. And I love it. They know me, and they knew that that was my jam right there. That was my jam. And I don't know if you're going to see these when I do my ABH palettes for my full-size palettes, because I'm doing those separately. But I have these 3 minis. This one has been used. This is, you know what? I'm just going to start with this one because this is number 1. This is the ABH Norvina. I'm going to bring you up a little bit more. And I got this one at TJ Maxx. It's never been used. I got it at TJ Maxx, and I can't remember how much I paid for it. But it wasn't a lot. It was like, I don't remember. This is number 2. Now, this one I have used. I did a St. Patrick's Day collab look with Ash using this. It is not my favorite color story in the world at all. And I have the number 3. That was the number 2. This is the number 3. This one I got from a Busy Beauty box. I actually got all 3 of them from a Busy Beauty box, but then I gave the number 1 to someone to complete their collection, and then I saw it, so I grabbed it. This one, again, has never been used. And I'm going to declutter all 3 of these. I don't use them. I haven't used them since I got them, except for this one, and that was for a collab. And so there's no reason to keep them. The color stories don't speak to me. They're just not great. I had to put some lotion on my hands, you guys. It was really dry. Okay, here's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Luxury Palette. Ash got sent this in from Influencer, I believe, and then sent it to me because this is not their color story. Look at this. They are identical. Almost, except for this shade right here. These 4 shades, they are identical. How funny is that? And this is way newer. The Starlet is way newer. But they're very, very similar. So I thought that was funny. But also, this is my number 2 contender for my bite-size Pan Those Eyeshadows. Number 2 contender. Okay, we have the Steve Laurent. This is the Wild Thing palette. I got this from Laura the Bargain Hunter. And again, my friends know me very well because I got this for Christmas. Or, no, I didn't. I got this for my birthday from Laura. And my friends know me very well. They know my perfect color story that I love. And it's cool neutrals. Whether it be cool pink neutrals or cool taupey neutrals. But this is beautiful. I have used this several times. I love it. And it is beautiful. This also came from Laura. This was the first bit of friend mail I ever got from Laura. This is the Bella Pierre Brown Eyed Girl. And it is stunning. I love it. It is so pretty. It is, for me, this is fall all the way. I love those shades in the fall. Now I have some Essence. This is the I Like to Mauve It, Mauve It. And you know what? These little palettes are so good. And they're like $3.99. They're like $3 or $3.99 or something. You can do a complete look with them. I love them. This one I've used a couple of times, but only a couple of times. But I just, like, I don't reach for it. And I don't know why, because it really is a great little palette. So love that. This one is Nothing Compares to Nudes. This one has been used as well, just a couple of times. But again, you can make a complete look out of that palette. And then during Ulta's, I don't know, Black Friday or something. I bought these three. I bought the dancing green because I think those green shades are so pretty. I have not used these yet. Oh, they're taped on there. Can you? Okay, yeah, you can see. I just think they're so pretty. Bronzed this way. I believe it was Jessica Lee, who is a panner that I love. I believe it was Jessica that showed this palette. I think she was panning it, or she was panning a shade in it, or something like that. And I thought that that was really pretty, so I grabbed that one. They were buy two, get one free. And then this is Taupe It Up, and I blame this one on Leanna Dalton, because she showed this in her Shop My Stash. And if that's not me all day long, I love those shades. So, yep, those are awesome. This is from Alicia. It's Glitterpedia. I got this from Stylevana. And let me tell you what, I love this formula. This formula is so nice. The problem is there are 4 glitters in here. And this is a chunky girl. She's a big girl. Very chunky, very chunky. This one here is chunky. These are a little bit more fine, but if you know me, you know I don't do glitter. I did use the more fine glitter in my video when I got this in PR, but I'm going to declutter this, you guys. I am. I'm not going to use it. I think someone else might like it way more than I. This is the Zoeva Spice of Life. I got this from Ash as well. I've used the shimmers a couple of times. I've not used the mattes at all, but it's very pretty. And I love that warm color story. These two are Makeup Geek singles that I made into a little quad. Can you even see this? Am I showing you anything? Holy cow. Did you guys see this? I just looked at my monitor and like I was up like this. Okay, here we go. There's that. I need to pay more attention. I need to pay more attention to what I'm doing. Anyway, I won these from Mary Catherine Loves Cats in a giveaway when Makeup Geek was going out. When they were switching their pan sizes, I think. They were switching from round pans to square pans or something. But there were 4 of these 4 here and then these 4 here. And then I got these little quad Z palettes. So I just put them in a little color story by themselves. But what I think I'm going to do is put them in my Z palette for my singles and use them there. But I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them. But I know I'm keeping them. This I also got from Mary Catherine Loves Cats. You guys, my friends are amazing. I have amazing friends. They send me things. And this is the Betty Boop. I think it was when Ipsy did their Betty Boop collab. And it is so pretty. I have not used it yet, but it is so pretty. And that's why I'm doing this. I want to get rid of palettes that I'm not going to use so that I can concentrate on the ones that I do love. So there's that. And then this is the Revolution Batman. This is just the quad. I only keep the screensaver because it has the shade names on it. I think this is an awesome formula. I love the Batman palettes that I have. Batman is my jam. But I really love this palette. I love using it. It's a great palette. I would buy it again. This is Rude Cosmetics, the spell book. This is Love. If I remember right, I decluttered this last year and then I pulled it back in. I have a couple of those and I will show you those. I haven't used it all year, so I'm decluttering it again. It's very pretty, but I have teal shades. I don't use a lot of blues and teals, but I have teal shades. So I'm going to use the ones that I have and not use that one. These two are from Revolution. I bought these for nostalgia and packaging only, but I will use them at some point. This is the Grease Revolution Pink Ladies palette. That is what that looks like. And then this is the T-Birds palette. And it is, they are what they are. You know, it is what it is. I didn't buy it for the color story. I'm not really a big fan of this color story right here. I think it's kind of silly. Why would you have that bright pink with those? Anyway, I just would think that it would have a lot more pinks in it because those pink ladies, pinks and reds. I don't know, but I'm keeping them because it's Grease and I love Grease. And then we have these two from Colored Rain. This is the Botanical and the Rose Garden. This here's the Botanical. It has been used. It hasn't been used in a long time. And I'm going to declutter this. I'm going to let it go. I do love Colored Rain formula. This has a fine formula. I just don't ever reach for it. And it's never on my mind. And it doesn't inspire me. And I paid like $5 each for these. And this one is the Rose Garden. Again, it's pretty. It's very messy. This glitter right here, this shimmer right here is very messy. I'm going to have to clean it up before I pass it on. But yes, so I'm going to declutter those as well. Okay, this one doesn't have very much in it because this is where I store my ABH full-size palettes. They just fit better because they're so narrow. That's what I put those in, but I showed them when I did my Big Daddy palettes. So I am just going to show you these because you'll see those in my big palette, my full-size palettes. You'll see those. So this is my first one. This is the e.l.f. Rose Gold Nude. And you guys, it still smells fine. I did use this in a Get Ready With Me a year ago maybe, and it did not perform as well as it used to, but I'm keeping it, and this is for nostalgia, and I have reasons for this. And I'm really not going to share them, but okay, let me go through these, and then I'll share it quickly. Here's the Hummingbird palette from Jelly Pong Pong Cosmetics. It's pretty. I've never used it. This is the reason that I got the So Susan bag to begin with, because I wanted this palette. I've never used it. And it smells like crayons too. Oh, dang it. I mean, I was going to declutter it anyway, but I was actually going to pass it along instead of throwing it in the trash. But now I think I'm going to throw it in the trash because it stinks. Here's the Violet Voss Sunkissed palette. I decluttered this last year, and then I brought it back in. And I'm going to declutter it again because I haven't used it in a year. So this is getting decluttered also. This is the L'Oreal La Palette Nude 2. You can see there's some pans in there. And this kind of goes along with this e.l.f. And I'll tell you the story of that. You know what? I'll tell you at the end. That way, if you want to stick around and hear the story, then you can do that. And if you don't, then you don't have to. So I'll keep those in there to the side, and then I'll tell you at the end. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Bridgerton Mothership Diamond of the First Water. I got this from Leanna Dalton, and I just think that this is such a beautiful, beautiful palette. So pretty. This shade right here, I have to swatch it for you. It's just so pretty. It's such a beautiful topper. So yes, of course that's getting kept. All right, I have one more. This is Ulta Beauty Eyes and Face Palette. Meet Me in the Moonlight. I don't know if that is the name of the palette or what, but this was a free gift with purchase. It was a bundle for the holidays, and I decided to keep it because it's pretty. So I'm going to keep it. This is from Wander Beauty. This one is the Getaway Eye and Face Palette. Island Hop. And I got this from Gigi Loves Beauty too. I will have anybody that I mention that has a channel, I will have them linked in the description box below. You can go check them out. They are all of my friends, and I adore them all. But this is a really nice palette. I had never used a Wander Beauty palette before. This shade right here was in my Pan Those Eyeshadows, and I really enjoyed using it. I haven't used any of the face yet, any of the face products, but I have used these and they're nice. So yes, I'm keeping that. Juvia's Place the chocolates. I put this in my project 3 uses this year because I knew that when I did my palette collection and declutter, I was going to declutter this. And then I used it and it is stunning. I love this. I think this is ridiculous. They could have put like a cream shimmer or like a champagne shimmer in there instead of both dark browns, but it is beautiful and I enjoyed using it and I'm keeping it. This is the Violets by Juvia's. I have used this several times. It is beautiful, beautiful formula, and I'm keeping it. Now, this is the Olori 2. This is another one that I decluttered last year. I actually decluttered the Olori 1 and Olori 2, and I sent the Olori 1 to a friend. And I'm going to declutter it again because there's no reason I keep it. I was going to look and see if there was a matte navy blue. I was going to keep it. There isn't. I have 3 or 4 of this blue. I have all of these shades. I have all of these shades of blue in other palettes. I'm going to declutter it again, and I'm not bringing it back this time. This is the Shanna B Miami palette, and it's very pretty. I really like these shimmers. I have used this matte and it's nice. It's very nice. And then I have the Shanna B Miami Nights. That was the Miami. This is the Miami Nights. I got this from Mary Catherine Loves Cats. And I've used these 2 shimmers. They're beautiful. And I really love this color story. It is just so pretty. I think that this shade of pink and gray looks so pretty together. It's very soft and romantic, and I love that. This is the Milani Pure Passion. I'm going to open so I don't blind you. This I got from Erica Conger when she decluttered it, and she sent it to me. And it's a beautiful neutral palette. Like, what else can I say? It is a beautiful neutral palette. This row right here is probably my favorite row because it does have the pinky browns, and those are my favorite. But I do love that palette. This is the Persona Identity 2. I got this from Leanna Dalton, and I've only used it a couple of times. You guys, I got to get some of these out of here so that I can reach for these beautiful palettes that I've never used before. This is the Morphe 9V. I did get this from Lori Latimer and Friend Mail. We did a collab with it. This is one of my favorite pinky palettes. This is a beautiful color story, and I adore using it. This came from Mary Catherine Loves Cats. Oh my gosh, Mary, quit spoiling me. You spoil me. Stop it. This has become one of my favorite warm brown palettes. I had not used it up until this summer, and it had just been sitting here, and I decided to start doing a Shop My Stash in January, and I had brought this in, and it's beautiful. I am not a fan of Hip Dot, but I love this palette. I think the formula is just better in this palette. So love that. Another palette I got from Gigi Loves Beauty. I think this whole bin is stuff that was given to me. I can guarantee you, everything in here except for the Juvia's Place was given to me from friends. You guys, stop. Here's the Winky Lux Latte Kitten palette. This is from Gigi Loves Beauty too. I don't know if I just mentioned that or not, but I have not used it yet, but it is a beautiful palette, and I can't wait to use it. It's very pretty. It's a perfect winter palette with these cool shades over here. I have never used Winky Lux before, but I'm looking forward to do it because it's a beautiful palette. Beautiful, beautiful. This is the Beauty Creations Cali Chic palette. I feel like I won this in a giveaway like a long time ago. I did use this past year, and it did not perform as well as it had performed in the past, and I am going to declutter that. This is the Nomad Toscana. Again, I got this from Erica Conger when she decluttered it. It is such a beautiful palette, and Nomad is just amazing. I love Nomad. And it's a beautiful neutral palette, and I've used it a couple of times, and I love it, just like I love all of my other Nomad palettes. This one came from Mary Catherine Loves Cats. I think for my birthday or for Christmas last year. I can't remember. Maybe my birthday last year. I have used these shimmers, and I have used these two mattes, and they're beautiful. They're Nomad. So yeah, love it. This I got from Leanna Dalton when she decluttered it, and that is my perfect color story. And yeah, I've used it a couple of times since I got it. It's beautiful. I love it. Don't have any complaints. Okay, a couple of things to address. Here is the Charlotte Tilbury that I showed you earlier. Here's the e.l.f. Bite Size Palette. Help me decide, you guys. Help me decide which one I'm going to make my baby. That's not Baby Pan That palette this year. It is Bite Size. Bite Size Pan That palette. Tell me which one I should do. I'm more inclined to do the Charlotte Tilbury because when I pan it, even though I didn't pay anything for it because Ash gave it to me, it's still a higher dollar palette. And getting that out of my inventory, it knocks down the dollar amount of my inventory. So let me know what you think. They're two totally different. This is super, super bougie. This is super, super inexpensive. So tell me which ones you think I should put as my bite-size palette. Okay, now if you stay till the end and you want to know the story behind these two palettes and why I'm keeping them, even though I will not use them because they are so old. When I was married, after I had my daughter, my daughter's 22 now, we were broke. We were broke. We had no money. He was quite the spender. He was quite the spender. And it was bad. I mean, my mom and my dad were always there as a great support system. His mom, amazing support system. I could not have asked for a better mother-in-law ever. When we divorced, I wanted to keep her. And we have spoken since because, you know, we share a common person, Bailey. And she's just a really awesome person. But anyway, we were broke. It was like digging in the car for change to go buy formula. Because I was too proud and too ashamed to ask my mom and dad for help. I did eventually ask them for help. And eventually we did get on assistance. But it took a long time getting there. So, fast forward, I got divorced. I was working 2 jobs. I was doing hair, and I was also, actually, at one point I was working 3 jobs. I was doing hair in a salon, and then on Mondays, the salon was closed. So I was doing hair at a nursing home. And a couple nights a week, I would work till 1 a.m. and make reservations for Red Roof Inn at their call center. So I was working 3 jobs. This was like right after I left my husband. And I mean, I say I left my husband, but we lived across the street from each other because we had bought my grandmother's house, who was across the street from my mom. So when I left him, I moved in with my mom, which was across the street from him, which was nice for Bailey. It was nice for her to have her dad close, but I was broke. And Bailey and I got our own apartment, and I got on a little bit of assistance there. I had stopped doing hair and went to work at a warehouse that had better benefits and because I had been on my ex-husband's benefits. So I had gotten a better job. I was making more per money or I was making more per hour, and had better benefits, but still broke. Like, my bills were paid. I did have food assistance, and I couponed, and I shopped sales, and I did everything I could to let that stretch. Well, my mom gave me like $50 one time. Oh, and up until then, I was using Avon makeup because my grandma sold Avon. So everything that I used was Avon because she would just give it to me. She had so much of it. And so, like, I would use their little quads and stuff like that. So my mom gave me $50, and she said, go buy something for you. I want you to go buy something that you will never buy yourself. I want you to go buy something for you. So I bought this $20 L'Oreal palette, and I bought a couple of lipsticks. And I just thought it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And I felt very fancy that I owned an actual palette that, you know, it had more than 4 shades in it. And I thought I was very, like, I felt so good about myself that I bought that. And then I don't remember how much longer it was, but my dad had given me a Walmart gift card and said, I don't want you to use that on groceries. I want you to use that on something for yourself. And I think it was either for Christmas or for my birthday. It was just one of the things that he threw in there. And so I went and bought that because I had heard that Elf was a good brand, but it was inexpensive. And this was $10, and it's still $10. So these two were my first palettes that I ever had. And as you can see, I had a type. This color story is pretty identical. But I think that this color story was very popular because it looks like one of the Urban Decay Naked palettes, and I think that's what they were going for. But, and there's no way in hell I'd ever be able to get an Urban Decay Naked palette. So, that is the story of why I cherish these palettes, because I had nothing and people were kind. And that is why I will always cherish them. They might fall apart, but I will never get rid of them. And before then, this reminds me of how far I've come and how hard I've worked to get where I am, and the amazing support system that I have in my life now. Also, this tells me where I came from, because I remember the feeling when I was able to go buy this drugstore palette. And if this was still good, I would use it today, because I love this palette. I mean, you can see the pans. You can see the pan in here. There's almost a pan in here. So while they don't perform very well anymore, I will always keep them. And that is my story of why I will cherish these palettes. And I'm not gonna lie, that was a little hard to get through. A little bit. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And until our next adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.